Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm sorry I'm late. I had to do it again because my video cut me off earlier. So, let's start back over. Carolina Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons. That's this week 8 of NFL. I lost that one 25-17. Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots. I picked Buffalo and I won that one 24-21. Tennessee Titans versus Cincinnati Bengals. I picked Tennessee. I lost that one 31-20. Las Vegas Raiders versus Cleveland. I picked Cleveland. I lost 16-6. Indianapolis Colts versus Detroit Lions. I picked Indianapolis and I won that one 41-21. Green Bay versus Minnesota Vikings. I picked Green Bay. I lost that one 28-22. New York Jets versus Kansas City. I picked Kansas City. I won that one 35-9. LA Rams versus Miami. I picked LA Rams. I lost that one 28-17. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Baltimore Ravens. I picked Baltimore. I lost that one 28-24. LA Chargers versus Denver. I picked LA Chargers. I lost that one 31-30. New Orleans Saints versus Chicago Bears. I won that one 26-23, and I picked New Orleans. I picked Seahawks versus 49ers. I won that one 37-27. Philadelphia Eagles versus Dallas. I picked Eagles. I won that one 23-9. And Tampa Bay versus Giants. I picked Tampa. I won that one 25-23. Week 9. I picked Green Bay to pick over 49ers. I won that one 34-17. By the way, that was Thursday. I did not get to do my fix because I've been watching news. Denver versus Atlanta Falcons comes on at 1 o'clock on CBS on November 8th. I picked Denver Broncos to beat the Atlanta Falcons. 1 o'clock on Fox on November 8th. Seahawks versus the Bills. I go the Bills. Chicago Bears versus Tennessee Titans. I go Chicago Bears. Detroit versus Minnesota. I go Detroit. Baltimore versus Indianapolis. I go Baltimore. Panthers versus Kansas City. Jeez, I know that Panthers are going to probably lose, but I choose the Panthers. Washington versus Giants. I picked Washington. Houston versus Jacksonville. I picked Houston. Las Vegas Raiders versus Los Angeles Chargers. I go Raiders. Pittsburgh versus Dallas. I go Pittsburgh. Miami versus Arizona. I go Arizona. New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. I go Tampa Bay. New England Patriots versus New York Jets. I go New England. Score for New England is going to be 28. Jets 3. Now to the college football.
You won all of those, didn't you?
Not yet. For week 6. Okay. Kansas State Wildcats versus West Virginia. I lost that one 37-10. I picked Kansas State, by the way. Memphis Tigers versus Cincinnati Bearcats. I go Cincinnati. I won that one 49-10. Coastal Carolina versus Georgia State. I went Coastal Carolina. I won that one 51-0. USCF Knights versus Houston. I go USC. USCF. I won that one 44-21. Northwest Wildcats versus Iowa. I won that one by a point, 21-20. LSU versus Auburn. I won Auburn. I won that one 48-11. And Indiana versus Rutgers. I picked Indiana. I won that one 37-21. Texas versus Oklahoma State. I picked Oklahoma State. And I lost that one 41-34. Ohio State versus Penn State. I picked Ohio State. They won 38-25. So I lost only 2 games that week. Week 7, we got some big games coming up tomorrow on ABC at 12. West Virginia versus Texas. I went Texas. On FS1 at 12 o'clock comes on Michigan versus Indiana. I picked Indiana. 12 o'clock on ACC Network comes on Liberal versus Virginia Tech. I went Liberal. Or Liberty, whatever. Florida Gators versus Georgia Bulldogs comes on at 3:30 on CBS. I go Georgia. Oklahoma State versus Kansas State comes on at 4 o'clock on 7 o'clock. I don't know what channel, it doesn't give me. I go Oklahoma. And at 7 o'clock on NBC, the very close game, because you know Trevor Lawrence is not going to get to play that game because of COVID-19. So it's going to be looking closely for a game. Clemson versus Notre Dame Fires Irish. I go Notre Dame. I mean, not Notre Dame. Sorry, Clemson. I hopefully Clemson will win this one. It's going to be very close because they played Boston College last week without Trevor, and they had really, really struggled against a team. So hopefully that Clemson will beat them, and we'll be able to stay in the #1 team. 7 o'clock on ESPN2 comes UCLA versus Colorado. I go UCLA. On 7:30 on ABC comes on Stanford versus Oregon, their first game of the season, because they're in a different conference. I go Oregon. On 10:30 on FS1, Washington State versus Oregon State. I go Washington State. And the Clemson Tigers versus Notre Dame score is going to be Clemson 35 and Notre Dame 28. So very close game. So Clemson wins that one. They should stay in the top 4. Maybe drop into #2 spot. I don't know what the thing is because they don't have Trevor Lawrence, so they're going to probably look at Clemson and say, well, you're not looking good. We're going to drop you from #1 and put the Bama. But we'll see how the committee puts it for Clemson. Hopefully Clemson wins. If Clemson loses, they'll probably drop them out #1 spot and drop them down to probably 5 or 6. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see. It's on a Saturday night football on NBC. So, and getting out of college, the top, let me go to my Fox Sports app for NASCAR's championship game. If you watch it, comes on Sunday on, I think, NBC or something. Let's see. Okay. NASCAR is the championship game on Sunday. My picks was Joey Logano to come in 3rd to 4th place. Chase Elliott 1st to 2nd place, so he could win the race and win the championship for his first time in career. He had his dad race back then. His name was Bill Elliott. I think Chase Elliott might win his first championship in his career. Brad Keselowski to finish 11th to 13th. Denny Hamlin who finished 11th, 13th. He's one of the playoffs. Let me give you the playoffs. People: Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Brad Keselowski to be in the playoffs. I think Chase would do it, but Denny Hamlin will finish 11th, 13th. Kevin Harvick, which is not in the playoffs, I picked him to get 9th or 10th place. Alex Bowman, number 88, to finish 5th or 6th place. So we'll find out who comes in first place and all that. So hopefully my picks are right. Chase Elliott will win the championship and be a pretty good racer in his career. And I think that's it to announce. Haven't won no money on that because you could win up to 25,000. Have not won nothing. So it's just out of my picks. I have to get them right to get money. So hopefully that would be the case. Let me go back and tell you. Download the Fox Bet 6 app and you can win money. And I'll tell you what you can win. On NFL, the ones I just gave you on NFL Sunday, I can win up to $1 million, but I'm guaranteed $10,000. So you need to download the app. You can have a chance to win. And on Fox College Football, it's, I think, Saturday football, you can win up $25,000. You're guaranteed $2,000. And on Fox Big Noon Saturday against Arizona State versus USC, you can win $1,000. NASCAR, you can win $25,000. So you need to download Fox Bet Super 6 to win that kind of money, but it's just up to your mind how you can pick. But we'll see you later. and God bless.